In today's mod showcase, we're checking out some incredibly beautiful lions, some fantastic birds as always, a little remaster of the best animal ever added to Planet Zoo, and some other fantastic additions. Welcome back everyone, this is the Planet Zoo mod showcase. This is your one-stop shop to see all of the latest goodies that have been posted on the Planet Zoo Nexus as of late. Again, a huge shout out to my friend Evie for making this map, it's beautiful, but we haven't filled out most of it today just because I wanted to kind of shrink it down a little bit and really bring out the highlights. So, we have a bunch of animals to check out today. First on the list is the African fish eagle by Great Cake Mods. What a beautiful animal, just look at that profile right there. But this is an incredible species to add to your zoos, the African fish eagle. While it's not necessarily extremely common in the United States zoos, I am aware that it is very common over there in Europe and other parts of the world as well. Very beautiful bird right over here. It is found all over Africa, and these guys are basically the African version of the bald eagle. I actually do believe, if we check out their genus, Haliaetus, I do believe that's actually the same genus as the bald eagle, which is very cool, and you can see the morphology of these guys really does kind of follow that same trend that they have. But yes, it's a beautiful looking bird. We have, I believe this is a female, yes, females right there. We actually do have a juvenile right here. You can usually tell these guys apart from their kind of molting, I think it's called. I think that's called the molting of the feathers. Again, Cake just does such a beautiful job with making these feathers feel so lifelike, so organic, and they just look really, really good. My only issue, and of course, Cake, this is not your problem at all. This is a problem of Planet Zoo, and you can see they're flying back there. But the camera, fade out every so often. Like, it's kind of weird wherever it decides where it doesn't want to show the animal anymore. I'm hoping that we'll be able to work with the Cobra Tool devs to figure that out. That would be incredible. But yeah, it's such a great mod over here. Again, they do use those flying enrichments, so if you do end up seeing on the Nexus page, these guys actually do use modified animations. This one specifically uses the tug rope over here for them to fly, and it just works so well for these guys. So huge shout out to Cake for that. Not only for that one, but the Barbary lion as well. Or you might call them the Atlas lion. Such a beautiful profile shot right over here. Now, these guys are currently extinct, definitely extinct in the wild, possibly extinct all over the globe. It's really a point of contention whether or not zoos actually have Barbary lions in captivity right now. It's actually quite a hot debate, because a lot of zoos in real life, they tend to say, oh, but we have the Barbary lion, but really it's probably just like a kind of mix of different lion subs and subpopulations. I don't know. But regardless, the Barbary lion is known for its incredible mane, as you can see right there. Cake has this beautiful, beautiful approach whenever it does come to the manes. I think it looks so good. What she's been doing recently, she has absolutely stepped up her work in making that come so much more to life and having it flow so much better. You can see it just follows the body up right until the pelvic area right there. It just has this very big shaggy look to it that I just love these males. Not only the males though, but the females, we have to give them some love too, right? Look at this baby right over here. So good. Looks so lifelike. I love all the details on the face. I feel like Cake really did her research when it came to the morphology of these species, because they didn't go quote-unquote extinct that too long ago. And you can see they are from kind of like North Africa, a little bit of the Nile, a little bit of Egypt, but definitely like parts of Morocco. That's where the last one was actually seen. If I actually remember to put it up in editing right here, I'm gonna try and put up the image of the classic Barbary lion. So sad, that was the last image of it. But we also have the babies right over here. I love her approach on these juveniles. They feel like that weird adolescent lion, like not exactly newborn cub, but definitely large enough to stand on their own and explore a little bit. I think that looks so good. So huge shout out to Cake as well for that. That just looks great. We're gonna check out some extinct species once again. We're gonna start off with Kaanu's latest mod. This is the Imperial Mammoth. All right, huge Zoopedia handwritten over here by the person who actually commissioned this mod. And yeah, Kaanu actually did quite a good job with this animal, and you can see they do have interspecies enrichment over here. Love to see that. It's with all North American species. because this species did live all around California, all the way down to Mexico, and even parts of Canada. Very awesome looking animal over here as well. Obviously, there is the Colombian mammoth, that's also an option, but I love Kaanu's approach right over here. I feel like this head looks so good, and obviously, who doesn't love a big tusk on a elephant? That just looks so good. But yep, they do have that sexual dimorphism. Males are a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier, and you can see the female right over here of the Imperial Mammoth is just a little bit slimmer and a little bit tinier. Very cool to see. That's not my favorite Kaanu mod though. We're going to check out another one over there, and he has one coming up soon. But before we do get to that, we do have another... Oh god, how do I pronounce Paraceratherium family? This is the, and I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, Dzungariotherium. Dzungariotherium? I'm not sure. It's from China, and kind of like parts of Mongolia, I think. Might kind of stretch right in there. Very beautiful species, no interspecies enrichment, but listen, Cake did such a beautiful job on this. We also have the other two species of, I always want to say Indoceratherium, whatever, but like, I don't see it in there, which is the issue. I'm not sure. But yeah, we also have the other two species of Paraceratherium that we know of by NDP. Beautiful models on those. This is just very good as well. I always love to see when other people are able to bring their talents to different animals that people typically do, and seeing this by Cake is just always so cool to see. Not only do we have that morph right there, we also have this little bit more of a kind of South American morph, I would say. Yeah, the face is very reminiscent of a giant anteater, I want to say. Looks very cool, looks very beautiful, and I just like that coloration too. I feel like this individual you would see a little bit more in a tropical or temperate environment. Just looks so awesome. But huge shout out to Cake once again. These are looking so good. Cake, listen, if you're listening to me, interspecies enrichment, I would love to see that. It just makes me, it allows me to have an idea of what to actually combine these animals with, and just gives me a little bit of an incentive to use them more, you know? But listen, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. I'm not a mod or anything. All right, moving on over here, we have a new modder on the scene. This is Squatch's Drill. Squatch is a brand new up-and-coming Planet Zoo modder. He really likes his monkeys. I know that about him. But this is just very good. So obviously, I kind of taken my own drill mod down because it's not updated and it doesn't work. But I'm very happy with how well Squatch was able to actually master this one right here. He went above and beyond in getting the face shape looking right, went above and beyond with getting that very slight gradient right. It just looks very good and it looks very organic. You'll love to see that. The drill is, of course, related to the mandrill, though they are not entirely closely related. Actually, they are. It's the genus right there. Interesting. Also, very cool, very nice monkey. I agree. Also, yeah, drills are like mandrills if they were better. I have to say I agree. Yeah, I just love drills. They're not as common as mandrills, obviously. Mandrills have like their own breeding programs in the United States and Europe, but drills, there's only one zoo that actually has them in the United States for now even. I think they might be getting rid of them soon. And it's Zoo Atlanta. I really hope to get down there soon to actually see this species in person. But yeah, incredible job by Squatch on these guys. And you can see the female right there. Obviously, in terms of primates and pretty much all of other animals, males are usually the more showmanship of the group. And yeah, this one just looks so good. Look at that bright red butt. That's very nice. All right, moving on. We are checking out the other Kaanu mod. This one is based off of mine and Line Rider squirrels, but this is a giant squirrel, specifically the black giant squirrel. A very beautiful mod right over here. I'm so happy that Kaanu was able to take this on. It's a species native to kind of like Southeast Asia part of the world, little bits of Indonesia and stuff, but this is a very fantastic looking mod. I'm so happy with how well he was able to make this species come alive, and it just looks very good. I'm so excited to see him be able to take the squirrel on and really make something of his own with it. Yeah, so there are two different kinds of morphs in here. There's this little bit of a paler one, a little bit of a whiter one, but this species also does have this morph over here, which I think just looks so good. I think this is just such a good testament to how important that gradient is and that shading whenever it does come to your mods, and Kaanu just really excels at it. Like, his latest mod's been looking very good. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. If you guys are hoping to do a little bit of a tropical zoo, maybe you're hoping to do one set in Southeast Asia, these guys would even be a great ambient an animal to have. Speaking of tropical, we also have another mod by Great Cake Mods. This is the black-handed spider monkey. She also, I do believe, remastered her older spider monkey, which does look very good already. But yeah, this is the black-headed spider monkey. Sorry, not handed. But yeah, it's a very fantastic looking primate. Once again, they're from Ecuador, Colombia, and Panama, right up there. Very cool. I did not know they actually made it to Central America. That's very interesting. Gonna give these guys a little bit of time to actually show off their climbing, but spider monkeys are very interesting. They were actually called spider monkeys because the original explorers who kind of discovered this species, colonizers, they actually thought they were giant spiders up in the trees because they're one of the only primates to actually use, oh, damn it, we just missed that animation. That's so sad. But yeah, they're one of the only primates to actually use, oh, there he goes. We gotta check this out. Their tails as kind of like prehensile. So they use them to climb, they use them to grasp onto things. And I think if Cake actually did it, I'm not sure if spider monkeys actually have it, but a bunch of primates who actually do have that prehensile tail, they do have that little bit of their tail kind of like with no hair. And it's all skin. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it right here. That's a level of detail that Cake goes to actually make her mods. So it is less hairy on that little bit right there because the skin allows them to get a better grip on whatever surface they're climbing on, whether it's like a branch or something like that. It's always cool to see, like, monkeys kind of jumping around and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna speed up time to actually get an adult to climb these trees. And you can see he just did that right there, and he didn't do anything else with it. That's great. Oh, it just happened for like 2 seconds. Oh man, that's so sad. Can they do it again, please? Oh, here they go. Okay, we're gonna lock on. And you can see they actually use their tails, prehensile. That's a new animation that Cake made. So cool. It's those small little things that go such a long way for a Planet Zoo mod nowadays. All right, we kind of covered that little bit over there. I'm kind of taking it a little bit slower today. Really liking talking about these animals. Here's the Chinese Serow by Monsoon. Monsoon obviously has to bring us an obscure Asian ungulate, and this one, this time around, is the Serow. Yeah, look at that picture. I always like seeing the pictures more than my own game because I can't set that up. That just looks so good. Beautiful animal over here. Chinese Serow does have interspecies enrichment, but not with any mods that I have installed right now. If you do see this, like if you see it does share enrichment with the following animals, but you don't see any, that usually means that they share it with another mod, which is always kind of cool. But yeah, tons of fun facts about these guys. I know Monsoon loves these species, so it's really cool to see all the work he does for them, and I love the model on these too. You can see he went above and beyond once again with these hair planes kind of following the neck of the animal right up there, and it just looks so beautiful. You have a couple variants in there. You have a little bit of a desaturated individual right there, but this female right over here, can we just bring her out to the light? You can see it's a little bit more of a saturated individual with these kind of rustier, darker browns on the legs. Very beautiful species once again by Monsoon on here. Always so good to see him bring something new to the game. Speaking of which, he brought an extinct animal to the game, an extinct pigeon. Is it extinct? Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay. It was a large ground-dwelling pigeon native to the Solomon Islands. Very cool. Always gotta love your extinct pigeons. I feel like we really lost out with them. But this was kind of the basis for his Victoria Crown Pigeon, which we'll check out in a little bit. But this is a beautiful looking bird. It's based off of the Suffolk chicken from the Barnyard Animal Pack, so make sure to have that installed, bought, downloaded before you get this one. It can also climb, and it can also kind of fly. Can it? Yes, it can. We just gotta get him to come up here. We just gotta get them to come up here. Been playing so much Jurassic World Evolution 3 recently that this building system, it flows like butter to me. I miss it. But yeah, let's actually get these above the ground so we can see them fly. Oh my god, that was a huge range. Can we check that out again? All right, please do that again, buddy. I want to see you jump. Oh yeah, look at that. That was so cool. We're gonna do that again, and meanwhile not have me finagling the simulation speed button. All right, this is still like such a beautiful bird too. I'm always so happy to see extinct animals. Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. Flying birds. That's awesome. Always so happy to see extinct animals in this game, especially ones I've never heard of before, so that's just great. Alright, speaking of extinct animals I've never heard of before, we are checking out our first armadillo-based mod. No, there was a pink fairy armadillo before, but this is the Macroeuphractus outesi? Sure. South American armadillo. Very awesome looking guy right over here. Looks like a screaming hairy armadillo because it's screaming and it's hairy. No interspecies enrichment. Always a shame to see, but that's okay. Very awesome large armadillo from South America. Extinct nowadays. Very sad. But Cake, once again, just does such a beautiful job with these animals that I really can't be upset. I mean, just look at that. Again, such a beautiful looking animal right over here. And again, compared to the normal 9-banded armadillo, this is completely different too, which is so cool to see. Kind of makes me want to see if Cake will ever do a 3-banded armadillo or even a 6-banded armadillo. Any armadillo, just anyone that's alive. But yeah, they just look so cool when they're running. Look at that. I feel like we never give Frontier enough credit for the armadillo itself, because look at that. Look how each of these shells move in terms of animations. This is the kind of stuff that I care about, that everyone else is like, who cares? But yeah, I don't know. It's just such a cool base animal. I love them. All right, Cake has absolutely taken over the workshop. Not the workshop, the Nexus. Sorry. But now we are moving on to the lesser Rhea. Beautiful looking bird over here. Otherwise known as Darwin's Rhea. This is the smaller of the Rheas. The greater Rhea is, of course, the bigger one because it's called greater. These guys are so beautiful though. Again, they're found around Argentina, a little bit of Chile. Very cool species over here. Tons of interspecies enrichment. Always love to see it. King penguin too. That's strange. I kind of like that. But yep, they are very cool. Okay. I might need to take that back, but yeah, just a very cool species regardless of that fun fact. Really awesome looking model on these guys too. Compared to the Planet Zoo Rhea, this is quite a beautiful looking animal once again. Always so happy to see Cake bring her talents to this game and really fill out the roster. Not only for animals that we desperately need, but animals that like you really don't think twice about, but they just look so good. They really do. So yeah, that's that one. Very cool. We're saving that one for last. I'm sorry. We're going to check out Monsoon's Victoria Crown Pigeon right now. I'm also going to do the same trick I did to get these guys to fly. Again, these new bird mods, they are custom animations. They take a while to actually make. And I know a lot of the modders do have Ko-Fi pages set up. So if you guys do want to thank your local modder, be sure to check out those Ko-Fi pages and see, you know, maybe you could support your local modder. There's another bird flying back there. We'll check him out in a bit. But this is a Monsoon mod. It just looks so good. It looks so clean. Look at that. They flap their little wings. Victoria Crown Pigeons, of course, are extremely common in real life in zoos. And if you ever go to the island of New Guinea, I'm sure they are very common once you're actually up north in that region, even though they're near threatened. Interesting. But yes, I've taken my Victoria Crown Pigeon mod down because there's no way that I can compete with this. This is just beautiful. Always happy to see whenever a modder does something that I either worked on or I coded or made in the past, and they just take it up a notch. It's always so cool to see. But yeah, this is such a beautiful animal. Again, one of my favorites to see in zoos. They're always so great to photograph too. If you ever bring your camera to the zoo, find a Victoria Crown Pigeon. Like, they just make excellent kind of test subjects to like work out your lens or work out your focus, aperture, yada yada. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. It seems like they're related to the Rhea. But no, that's a beautiful looking bird right there. We have this individual right here with a little bit of a more purpler, more mauve kind of belly. That's very cool. All right, we have another eagle right over here. We can actually see this one flying. This is one of the largest eagles in life, like ever, still alive today at least. This is the Stellar Sea Eagle. These guys are found over the north coast of the entire globe, actually. So yeah, they're found all over kind of like Alaska, Russia, parts of Korea's, Japan, little bits of China, Taiwan. But we actually recently had one kind of like in New England, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yes, they're beautiful animals. Once again, look at these guys. These guys are known for not only just being the biggest bird, but they also have, not the biggest bird, you know what I mean, but they also do have a very large, like abnormally large for an eagle, which is kind of crazy. Makes sense because they are seabirds after all. They do kind of seek out a lot more of those colder water fish, which are usually a little bit bigger, a little bit fattier to help keep themselves warmer in those waters, temperature regulation and whatnot. But yeah, such a beautiful looking bird right over here. And you can see that guy is flying up a storm right over there. Cake recently updated her birds to be able to fly from point A to point B, which is very cool to see. So if I kind of get rid of this over here, if I move this individual, let's just say right over here, if they do have a need to get somewhere quickly, they will fly kind of like that, which is always so awesome. I love that. All right, we have a mod from Lowbury, another incredible Planet Zoo modder. We have a little bit of a camelid today. This was such a nice little surprise to see. The Poebrotherium wilsoni. It is a North American camelid, has interspecies enrichment, always cool to see. When did they go extinct? The late Eocene to early Oligocene. About 30 million years ago. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. Man, we were only 30 million years too late to see these guys, but we are seeing them now in Planet Zoo. But yeah, this is such a beautiful looking camel. It's based on the dromedary because you can see that beautiful texture work that we have with the latter editions of animals. Again, this just looks so good. Again, it's just another classic North American camelid. Always happy to see those in this game because, hey, you can do something kind of like Paleo Zoo. This is kind of making me want to do another. But yes, another great job by Lowbury, but oh my word, this kind of goes hand in hand with the Rhea over here. But we have the Patagonian Mara Remaster by Gaboy. Now, I said earlier that this was the best animal added to Planet Zoo. I need to add a little asterisk to that by mods. So yeah, the original Patagonian Mara was made by Jen, and Gaboy actually did not do too much to change it. In terms of the model, at least, well, worthwhile edits to the model. That really helped it shape up a little bit more, but the new texture edits with the new normal maps, with everything, normal maps essentially give this animal just a little bit more extra detail in terms of shadows and stuff. It's very interesting to see how that works, but all these texture upgrades make for this animal to be one of the best mods in Planet Zoo. Still love these guys so much. They're one of my absolute favorites in real life too. One day I would like to own one, but that is not going to be for a very, 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 very long time. I did help him code this one though, and I forgot to add interspecies enrichment, so that's a little egg on my face. But yeah, it's a beautiful looking animal once again, and it's still on the original mod page, so you guys can check that out. But yes, they were updated with the burrow mechanic. You can see how that kind of works right there. Very interesting. But we should be able to see them waltz right in here. They are burrowing animals after all. They do live in warrens, which are essentially what both cavies, maras, and rabbits actually use as a way to evade predators and stuff, which is kind of interesting, you know? It's an underground little paradise for them. So yeah, it's a beautiful looking mod. Again, those face whiskers were just recently added, all those extra details. Just looks so good. So huge shout out to Gaboy for that. It just looks so good. And there we have it. We have 17 mods this time around, nothing too crazy. Again, I wasn't able to cover all of the mods on the Nexus just because I feel like I can't provide much input on a new tiger that gets released every day. I'm so sorry. But all these mods were super cool, and they're so pretty. I don't know, I just like it. But yeah, it's... Oh, okay. Well, I guess I didn't save that one for last. We're gonna check out the Egyptian mongoose now. Very interesting species over here once again by Great Cake Mods. These guys are found all over continental Africa, as well as the Levant, a little bit of Saudi Arabia, and even some parts of southern Spain. I think they were introduced there, I could be wrong. But mongoose are very cool species. They are carnivores after all, so they will be looking out for little critters to hunt down, and maybe birds, insects, crustaceans, and stuff like that. Very cool species once again by Great Cake Mods. Again, this fur texture, some of the best I've seen. I mean, just look at that. It kind of just loops over itself. It's just so cool. Love me a good mongoose. These guys are so cool. Somewhat related to meerkats, not exactly. A little distant relatives right there, but yeah, it's just a beautiful looking animal. I mean, we can see that fur detail right over here with that tail. You can kind of see how it just swopes down, kind of right over there. You'll love to see it. And again, that kind of train, kind of like the coat. I'm not sure what you would kind of call that, but kind of loops over the neck right there. Beautiful looking mod right there by Cake. We also have one last mod by Cake once again. We have the Macrauchenia, again, a very incredible extinct species. You can see all of this information on them right over there. Check it out in your own time. Give these mods a download. But yeah, these guys look so freaking good. Now, obviously, this isn't the long-nosed Macrauchenia. This is a more scientifically accurate representation of this species. So yeah, the long nose was a thing of the past. It's been a thing of the past for quite a long time at this point. This is a little bit more of an accurate reading of what you would see this animal represented by. They have a little bit more of a nose, kind of like a saiga, or at least they're thought to have, you know? Scientists learn a lot more as the years go on, so animals get even more accurate, and that way we can appreciate them more, because this is how they would actually look. And yeah, it's just a very beautiful representation. Still keeping mine up specifically because I still like that representation of Macrauchenia. I like a little bit more. I don't know. I have this very vague interest of the retro fossils and retro paleo representation that I just think looks so cool. But I'm so happy to see this in the game. It just looks great. But yeah, that is it. We covered all of the mods today. Now, we should probably address the elephant in the room. Yeah, Planet Zoo 2. That's coming soon. And we can probably expect at this point, we're not getting another update. That's a good thing. That's a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. It means that modders don't need to worry about their stuff breaking anymore. Modders can kind of mod the game at their own rate at this point, where you can start to do a little bit crazier things, if you really want to call it crazy. And most of all, if you guys have been holding out for using mods in Planet Zoo, now is the perfect time. Everything is stable. Just make sure to use mods above 1.14, 1.15 if you want to be extra safe. Mods are mostly updated on the regular. I admit I still have a few in my backlog that I have not been able to get to just because, as you guys have seen, life has just been way too busy. But if you guys do want to learn how to mod, or even help me update some of my mods or other modders' mods, feel free to join the modding server. It's always in the description down below, and we're always happy to teach anyone else how to mod and how to bring your own animals to this game. So happy to see this, oh my word. But yeah, with that being said, I'm probably just gonna wrap up some of my own projects. Still have my Chilean flamingo. I still have a few other things that I need to bring up to speed before I officially call it quits for Planet Zoo modding officially. I know it's kind of sad, but there's so many animals in here to check out. There's so many mods on the Nexus that if you make a mod a day, no, if you use a new mod a day, make a new habitat for each one every single day, you'll still have a bunch left over before we even get to Planet Zoo 2. Like, that is so crazy to think about. I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of new mods as of late on the Planet Zoo Nexus. A huge bunch of like awesome creators out there. Huge shout out to them as well, because they're really keeping this game going. Once we entered this, I wouldn't call it a dead period, because that really takes away all of the effort that everyone's putting into the game, whether or not you make mods, use mods, make content, don't make content, post pictures online. It just goes so crazy to see this community just so vibrant and so full of life, especially after the announcement. I don't know, it's so exciting. But I think we're gonna end it with the Maras. I'm sorry, we're gonna end it right here. No Maras. Okay, we're gonna end it with the Rheas, the next best thing. Thank you all so much one last time for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments down below. Always do let me know what your favorite mod was, what you're looking forward to in Planet Zoo 2, and pretty much anything else. Use that as like your little yap sesh. Be sure to stay subscribed and even hit the bell if you don't want to miss the next mod showcase. I really try and do these monthly at this point because Nexus is kind of slowed down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have the most wonderful of wonderful days. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care and goodbye.